Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good committee. I am representing Barbara Ehardt from District 33, which essentially is Bonneville County. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, for hearing this. And I don't know if I did this incorrectly because I had someone else and then didn't get the name, but Christine Tiddens is the Executive Director of Vital Voices for Children and has also had input. If I could at least invite her up, you can limit her testimony, but she'll also be better prepared or better able to answer questions that may get out of my realm. So if we could invite her to at least come up, here and prepare it after I get through with this. So committee, let me remind you where some of this had begun. Some of you are new to the committee, but a number of years ago, even before we had Judge Ellis, but when we had Judge Ellis in here, had asked the question basically regarding kids and what happens when they're either taken and they get into the foster system. And so it has been something that's been on my mind. I've been trying to work with, with your help, had started last year. And then some of this evolved into our task force. There's a bit of a nexus here, but not a huge nexus. But right now, I didn't want to give up on the work that I was trying to do when it came to foster care. So what we have here is, in my opinion, relatively a light touch, but it does do some things. So this bill basically has to do with courtroom hearings and opening it up to more transparency. We basically have, this deals with those foster children as they're removed. You should have a handout coming. These hearings actually determine where these children are going to go and live, the decisions that's going to shape their future. And right now, only 3 people are allowed in that courtroom, which would be the prosecutors. I believe you're going to hear from them. And if I was a prosecutor, I guess I'd want to be heard from too, because right now they're one of only 3 that get to be heard. But the prosecutors, who also represent health and welfare, and let me state very clearly, committee, I have, health and welfare has seen this. They have no concerns. But health and welfare, I did not go without showing health and welfare this, okay? Just to be clear. Others in here, the parents who they're basically being taken away from, they get to be there. And then the child's represented, but not the child. Now, as I say this, a couple problems exist, and I know we also have, my seatmate, who no doubt has been part of this, and there are times other people need to be part of it. I could give you personal examples of where grandparents who had actually had the kids and had been highly involved in the kids, maybe it's aunt and uncles, maybe it's the neighbor where the kids have been staying for the last month. People like that are not able to attend these hearings. And we don't think that's right. If you'll notice also in the list of those, we've said who can attend the hearings, and if you look down on the handout sheet, but it includes parents if the rights are not terminated, foster parents, relatives, and fictive kin, those who are basically closely related, tribal representative, service and treatment providers, guardians, attorneys ad litem, state legislators. Why did I put state legislators in there? Because we've had state legislators who have been asked to go and attend this and were actually kept out of the proceedings when they're trying to understand what is going on when there's a problem. I believe that is part of our responsibility, especially on this committee. Now, as we look at this, let me be clear what this does. This still leaves the discretion with the courts, in other words, the judges. And you're saying, well, then what are we doing? Well, currently, a lot of judges are just closing it. No reason. They just close it. There's no transparency. And others are not allowed in. What this is doing is following some of the national best practices, the direction that we're moving, that federal court actually says we should be aligning with. And this is saying that if we're going to close it, then you, good judge, need to give reason why, and you need to follow these guidelines.